Okay, so hopefully you can hear me over the music, because I can barely hear myself speaking. I am C, and I'm going to play Amnesia, the Dark Descent. I have played through the very beginning of this game 3 or 4 times, but I have never gotten very far into it. Horror games aren't really my sort of thing. However, a friend of mine has been asking me to play it.
Don't forget, some things mustn't be forgotten. The shadow hunting me. I must hurry. My name is Daniel. I live in London at Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget. Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus. My name is... I am Daniel.
So loud. Anyways, a friend of mine has been asking me to play it and record it because he wants to hear me shriek, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. Hopefully you can hear me. I can barely hear myself think over the... Fuck, it is so loud. A memento has been added to your journal. For quick access to your mementos, press M. Make sure to check these whenever you get stuck, okay? Follow the liquid trail and find its source. When grabbing an object, press the right mouse to throw it. Hold R and move the mouse to rotate the object. Hold left mouse to and move mouse in order to move the door. Right mouse to throw the door open or shut, depending on the direction you face. It's a candle. Woohoo! Tinderboxes are used to light candles and other light sources in the environment. Current number of tinderboxes is shown in inventory. That's a heart. That's brain. It's a journal. I have no mail. Chair. okay. It's okay, dude. No? No. No, apparently not. Oh. Oh, hi. Hi. Shirt, I need... Just chill out. Just chill out. It's okay. Okay. I'm really not okay. What's going on? Why am I... No. Shit, it's dark. Candles? Candles anywhere? Candles? I need that. What is that? What is that? Oh. Pretty. No. 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 This seems like a trap. Beware, when standing in darkness, your sanity will slowly drain. Turn on lights in the environment using tinderboxes or search for another source of light. Yeah, so that was basically just to, make me waste tinderbox. Oh, okay. Door slammed shut behind him, and he knew he would never again see the old tailor at Berkeley Square. Another lone soul in London seemed to be somehow. Okay. What's books? Come up, but I can't read them. And you need to find a lantern before it can be turned turned on. Oh god, okay, it's dark. It's really, really dark. I'm okay. I'm okay. There's no source of light down there. Okay. I have to go in there. There's light right there. That's what I think of you. That's not skittering. No. Okay. Stop. That. Ow. It's the wrong button.
"19th of August, 1839. I wish I could ask how much you remember. I don't know if there will be anything left after I consume this drink." "Don't be afraid, Daniel. I can't tell you why, but know this. I choose to forget. Try to find comfort and strength in that fact. There is a purpose. You are my final effort to put things right. God willing, the name Alexander of Brandenburg still invokes bitter anger in you. If not, this will sound horrible. Go to the inner sanctum, find Alexander, and kill him. His body is old and weak, and yours, young and strong. He will be no match for you. One last thing. A shadow is following you. It's a living nightmare, breaking down reality. I have tried everything, and there is no way to fight back. You need to escape it as long as you can. Redeem us both, Daniel. Descend into the darkness where Alexander waits and murder him. Your former self, Daniel."
Dude. other children cheered him on, his name voice in a steadily rising pace, urging him to do it. Am I really going to do this? The young boy thought and struck his victim with a rock. Wow. To run, hold down left shift while moving. My fingers aren't very good at that.
Alexander, is it inside the castle?
In a manner of speaking. Come, bring the lamp. You've been to the refinery, have you not?
I don't believe I have. Is it connected to the... what did you call it?
The inner sanctum. My most precious chamber, Daniel. And it lies well beyond the refinery. In fact, it lies beneath the very stone of Brennenburg.
So I've played through this game enough to know I can't go out this door, but in case any of you are watching who have not played this game, we're gonna make a mad dash and time to leave. Yeah, you can't leave. That's fucking gross. Slight headache. What am I? Have I ever tried to go down here? Oh. Some organic tissue blocks the path to the refinery. Can it be dissolved? Oh. Time to go and investigate upstairs. Over here. Sylvaneria Laboratorium. To the kitchen floor. Tears were beginning to well in his eyes as he received the first kick to his stomach. His remained hidden in fear she too would be punished. Why? Why are these noises? It's okay. Like grades.
There should be more coop racks. Let me see. and 1 part Aquafortis.
Lack of a chimney to properly vent the fumes from my most recent experiments has taken its toll on many of my less stable ingredients in storage. Some seem unaffected, but many are stained by the fumes and will be difficult to salvage. I shall do so when I can and move them to the wine cellar. Just like at the consulate. Key to the wine cellar. Library. Traveling to Dover meant going through Canterbury. He made sure to pay a visit to avoid any sense of guilt connected with the neglect of the game. This isn't a good place.
16th of May, 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all. An interesting story in its own right, but I can't help feeling there's more. Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident it was the tomb we sought and ordered the others to clear the way late into the dark, cold night. Tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber. No matter what the professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back to London and the British Museum.
hereby offer my full attention and services to Alexander, Baron of Brennenburg. This contract will reign for a total of 3 years, when my freedom shall return to me. In addition, Alexander, Baron of Brennenburg, is to recommend my services at the Prussian royal court, and within the sanctum of the Order of the Black Eagle. May no man break this seal. Wilhelm of House Garrick. I wonder how that went for you, dude. Get the feeling nothing goes well with Alexander. It's dark. It's not that dark, though. I'm still okay. Can I read that? No. That's the wrong button. What the fuck was that? Where's this key?
17th of May, 1839. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger. Today, I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language getting to me. I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes and broken steps. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab of stone sealed off whatever lay ahead. I gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I was trapped.
Okay.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
Allstadt and Brennenburg Castle, 1801. Another region rich with its lore, Allstadt, deep within the East Prussian woods. For centuries, there have been stories surrounding the hamlet and its neighbor, Castle Brennenburg. The quiet forest-clad mountains, dressed with scattered lakes, is as picturesque as can be, albeit the area is haunted by the dark. Ask any local and you'll hear proof of the whispered superstition. All travelers should indulge themselves in such conversations, since it will certainly serve as exciting entertainment. All of them have their own twists on the tale, but there are some motifs that keep repeating. I wasn't done reading that. I'll stand in some light over here. Journal. Notes. Local folklore. There we go. The Gatherers. This story reaches all the way back to the time of the 30 Years' War. It is said that soldiers who abandoned their duty got lost in the cold, dark woods and were forever damned to roam the grounds. Their bodies, wrought by their tainted souls, have left them disfigured and empty of essence. Many have cited them over the years and described them as horrid revenants. They move silently through the woods, shying away from any beholder. They are called gatherers, as they seem to follow some ambition to steal living creatures. It is their prey which can be heard gurgling inside damp burlap sacks dragged behind them, which reveal their presence. What dark scheme do they follow? A visit undone. Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, the well-known erudite, visited Altstadt at the start of the 16th century. He resided in the local inn for a fortnight, as he looked for remnants of kingdoms past. During his stay, all the prominent members of society paid him notice, and he is mentioned in many records of the time. One day he went to investigate a burrow in the western glades, only to never be seen again. Heinrich is known to have passed away in Grenoble almost 10 years later. He dismissed the notion of ever visiting Altstadt, which makes you wonder what really happened. Who was this mysterious man who visited the sleepy hamlet in the woods, and what happened to him? The Immortal Baron. The Baron of Brennenburg lives a reclusive life with his family at his castle nearby Altstadt, and like most of those of noble birth, rumors are inherited alongside with the title. Researching the history reveals little before the castle was consumed by fire in the late 16th century. It was rebuilt by Alexander, a nobleman from the Rhinelands, claiming the role as protector of the Prussian state. Alexander helped the region to flourish and remain popular throughout his presumed lifetime. The family has always been secretive when it comes to lineage and heritage. Therefore, the birth and death of Alexander and his offspring has never been fully recorded. This has fed the idea that the Baron is, in fact, the one and the same who came from the West over 300 years ago, lived through the time of occupation, and joined the coveted Order of the Black Gull along with great leaders of this country. Okay. Well, that is surely something. Alright, gotta find that. That is most appreciated. You're not appreciated. I need to find what I need to do. There's one book. I think another is along here somewhere. No? Oh. No. There. There, okay. Shoot, where was the other one? Regarding the closing of the wine cellar, Wilhelm and his fools have endangered my research long enough with their absent-minded handling of the human vessels. The sheriff is keeping a watchful eye on the forest and is killing my trusty servants. It is just a matter of time until they follow the trail to Brandenburg. I need to lock Wilhelm and his men up to avoid further investigation from the public. The wine cellar will therefore be sealed off until the matter is handled. Either the king's men leave or they will starve. Whatever happens first, they can rot for all I care. Maybe I will feed them some wine. It would, in a sense, solve both of my problems. Oh. I don't think I'm going to enjoy the wine cellar. No, sir. The desert dunes were like waves in a sluggish sea, while the caravan moved. The land appeared motionless, but encamped. Why? braced himself as the caravan suddenly shifted and settled. I really need more lamp oil.
Where did the Baron go?
Who cares? He left us enough wine to last us a lifetime. Or at least until tomorrow.
That isn't good.
This shouldn't be.
Tinderbox. Tinderbox. I really need lamp oil. Oh god. Oh. Oh my.
What's happening? Oh, it feels like my chest is going to burst. Oh,
My God! Wilhelm, do something!
accept it. We're not getting out of here.
How can you say that? Alexander, you piece of shit! Let us out of here!
No, that was not what I needed. Wilhelm's last words. My name is Wilhelm, House of Garrick. These are my final words, my confession and testament. 2 years ago, I was summoned to the castle Brandenburg. As most of the aristocracy, I was curious about what this supposed knight of the order would want from me, and accepted the invitation. The Baron was friendly and offered me a proposition. It dawned on me that the nature of the contract was sordid, and that the reason I was chosen was because of the follies of my past, and not the honors I have been rewarded with during my time as a soldier. I was to kidnap healthy humans upon his slightest whim, and do so without asking questions. In return, he would attest to my character at the royal court, advancing my position within noble society. I would like to claim that I struggled with my decision, but it came swiftly, and I accepted wholeheartedly. Ever since that day, I have brought men, women, and children to Brandenburg. I can't remember the numbers, but there were many, perhaps even 100, none of whom were ever seen or heard of again. Tonight, the Baron invited me and my men to the wine cellar to celebrate our works. I had my suspicions as we descended the stairs, but he insisted and joined us in a toast. The wine tasted fine, and my men drank without restraint. So begins the punishment for our sins. The Baron has locked us up and returned upstairs. Forgive me for what I have done. I was weak and fell into his diabolic ways. My men are screaming. Their skin has been pierced by their own tangled bones. I feel my insides revolt against their God-given nature. Blood has begun to pour from my eyes, and I can no longer. Fuck. Do you have anything for me? You don't. As he opened the shutters, the French soldiers opened fire on the two young men fighting back. Their voices were silenced in a haze of gun smoke. I really, really need lantern oil. At least I have some tinder boxes. He sat down by the Casbah while gasping for air. Sweat poured from his forehead and onto the sand-filled ground. At least I pretty decently lit up this place on my way through originally. Okay. Early alchemy experiment. This is my third attempt to produce artificial vitae. The former compounds lacked the potency I need, but I sense I am close. Calamine and orpiment are a given, and the cuprite binds them well. This time I will attempt aqua regia instead of aqua fortis, and hope it will produce a more even solution. The experiment was unsuccessful. The solution is highly acid and proves impractical to put to any use except as a detergent. Organic tissue reacts especially violently to the solution and should be handled with the greatest of care. I might be able to use the recipe, but I'm losing hope that I will find an alchemical solution to my predicament. Excuse me. I know, standing in the darkness will slowly drain my sanity and health. What are you? Oh. One day I will return. If it wasn't for the thought of you, my love, I wouldn't be able to go on. When I find myself doing terrible things, I take comfort in you. As long as I am able to think of you and long for a life together, I know I'm better than the others. I weep for them. They lust for power without restraint, where I crave only fair judgment and a safe return. Same thing, okay. We're going to close that door. Did I break it? I have to go back to the wine cellar. You have some oil in you? No, we have tinderbox at least.
It's cold. It's so cold. Smelled of desert and damp musk. Pieces lay scrabbled on top. Too many of them, he thought.
that. Perhaps too few. Okay. I know. I keep hitting the wrong button, and I have no. After enduring 3 days in the Algiers, a sailboat was finally arranged to take him across the Mediterranean Sea to Gibraltar. Having reached British territory, it was just a matter of reserving a cabin on SS. I know it's dark. And I know the wine cellar is a very, very bad place. It's so dark in here. I can't see anything. I've been in here. Yes, I was in there.
closing in.
plasma wall, gasping air. Sweat poured from his forehead and onto the veiled sand. And veiled. Impossible to avoid. The commotion in the streets begged for his attention. As he opened the shutters, the French soldiers opened fire on the two men fighting back. Their voices were silenced in a haze of gun smoke. That's really quite true. It's much brighter in here than it was before.
What is this place? Now I wait.